So what was for dinner, moderator?
It looked good. Chipotle burrito double protein with the online app order. If you type protein in the code section, so
let's just call it meat. Let's stop with protein. Call it meat.
Accurate. Meat, no bread, no water, just meat.
Protein.
Come on.
That's called.
Welcome in, everybody, to another edition of the NoDQ review. This is episode number 370. We got ourselves a great panel here. We'll go around, introduce ourselves, and we'll get right in it. We appreciate everybody watching, either live or on demand. We appreciate the support, and don't forget to super chat in a question if you want it answered here on the air. We have Oofman here. Oofman, how you doing?
What's going on, gentlemen? Doing good. Just excited to talk some professional wrestling with everybody. So it's going to be a good night. I think it's going to be a good night. It is going to be a good night.
It absolutely is going to be a good night. Spot on analysis there, Oofman. We'll get back to you as the topics come. Jeff Meacham is here with us. Jeff, how you doing?
Feeling good, Gino. Got a award ceremony at work on Thursday. Got the Greg Cherry show tomorrow. All kinds of good things happening in the life of Jeff Meacham, but it's always good to be back on the mothership, as Dusty would call it, NoDQ.com, back where we were just talking about where it all started 25 years ago, really. So it's good to be home and good to be on the review as ever.
It's good to have you. Thank you for joining us. We've got Noah Foster. Noah Foster is here. How you doing?
Doing good as always. Good to see you, Papa Gino. And once again, good to be here with the NoDQ Galaxy and fam. Always good here on a Tuesday night to discuss professional wrestling, whether to one's moan or delight. So I'm looking forward to tonight's conversation as always. So you know how I go about things. Without further ado, I'm ready to get right into it. But it's good to be here once again.
We're happy to have you. And we're also joined by our ORM. Virtue is here. Virtue, how you doing today?
Good. When I'm not moderating, I'm done by 8 p.m. Eastern. So remember that.
Copy that. So, all right. Thank you so much for being here. Yeah, you'll see his finger start to approach the end button as we approach that. But we got a good show. We'll get it streamlined for you guys. And we appreciate everybody who's watching along. We also have Aaron, our leader here. Aaron, how are you doing today? You got the Beatles shirt going on.
As always. But yeah, it's been a busy week. We have the Royal Rumble in just a few weeks' time coming up at the end of the month. We also have Saturday night's main event. Virtue is contractually obligated for 1 hour tonight, so we'll try to get through this. But as longtime viewers of the NoDQ review know, sometimes we have special contributors that come in, and we'll see if that person shows up. Tito says, shout out to Mr. Tito, who is in the chat. He says, no rambling, and you'll get to 8. So let's do it. Let's get straight to the topics. Gino, I will throw it over to you.
Thank you very much, Aaron. Yeah, we're gonna get straight into the topics now. I got 2 big topics here to discuss with you guys. First and foremost, we're going to talk about kind of something of what happened last night, but over the last month or so as a whole. Gunther, everybody knows he tapped out Cena, and he's been cackling, laughing, kind of doing this whole I'll let you slap me and I'll just go complain to the authority figure. I'll tap out again, but I'm going to have the announcers convince you that it was a smart move. Whereas we've still got people chanting you tapped out at him all the way from back in WrestleMania last year. So I want to ask the panel today. I mean, we know what Aaron thought, but we'll get to him at the end here. Is this a good idea for them to be booking Gunther this way? Like, should he even if it's a smart move to win the match, should he be tapping out and giving the fans another reason to say you tapped out? Is WWE fumbling what they could have had something great with the guy who beat Cena and made him tap out? He just keeps saying you tapped out like a little bee, and that's basically in between laughing and that's really all he's basically been doing. So I want to throw it over to you guys now. We're going to go start off with Noah. Noah, is WWE handling Gunther's win over Cena the best, or is there a way that it could be improved?
I think there's definitely room for improvement. I think they're in cruise control because right now we have no idea what they want to do with WrestleMania or Saudi Rumble. I think what it comes down to is how do you avoid putting Gunther in that same bubble where you know if he wins a championship, he's going to lose to somebody at WrestleMania or he's going to lose to somebody via submission. So do you make the ring general less of an imposing threat? Do you add a little bit more comedy to his act? Do you add him being a little bit more of a cowardly heel, focusing on the fact that, yeah, I tapped out, but guess what? It didn't matter. I still made John Cena tap out. I was the last person to do that. Using that accolade, it could constantly get this crowd heat. I think it'll keep Cooper in check, but I don't think it progresses him. At this point, I'm curious right now, can AJ Styles bring the serious Cooper back? And can it remind people who the ring general is? And doesn't mean that Cooper goes on to bigger and better things. I don't think they've done anything to progress this, though, but I do think there's room for improvement.
Thank you, Noah. Yeah, I mean, like, again, whether it was smart or not smart to do from a technical standpoint, I could guarantee you guys that next Monday when he comes out, he's going to hear you tapped out from the crowd. And I don't think that that's necessarily the best thing for his character. I'm going to throw it over to Uthman now. Uthman, what do you think? Is this, there was so much hype coming out of Gunther defeating Cena in that manner, and has it lived up, or is it kind of floundering?
Yeah, after defeating Cena, the heat that Gunther was having, it was almost equivalent to that first show that when he walked in that time when Roman Reigns beat The Undertaker, and the streak already ended, and Roman just got thunderous heat, boos out of the crowd after Mania, and that's the same heat that Gunther says. But I agree with Noah. It's just interesting what are they actually doing with Gunther, and I don't like it because we all know when he walks around saying he's a ring general, I believe he earned that title. When you knew you were going to get a Gunther match, you were going to get a great match, a technical wrestling match, but Gunther was going to also dominate. He's got the height, he's got the power, he's got the strength to do that. But now they're walking this line with him. And so, yeah, that is a very interesting question for all of us and all wrestling fans. What is going on with Gunther? Is that aura of that, like I said, that ring general, that fear, that fear has gone away a little bit. Now, I don't have to say, I'm not saying he has to beat everybody that he's going to go up against, but that aura of like when he would walk down the aisle, you knew like, oh, dang, it's Gunther. It's going to be a tough match. And I'm going to do as the opponent, I'm going to do my best to try to win him, try to beat him. And then after defeating Cena, the legendary Cena, it's kind of gone downhill, except for that first show when he came back. But now he's actually tapping in the match with AJ Styles. The referee didn't see it. So it's like, it just seems that WWE's trying to make him a heel, but they're like experimenting with him. I think they have to go back to how he was in NXT and how he was when they brought him to the main roster, where he was that force to be reckoned with. We haven't had that dominance in a while, not equaling him to him, but maybe not since Lesnar have we seen a dominant force as Gunther when he first showed up to the main roster. So it's one of those typical points of if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But I guess Hunter has something on the whiteboard that obviously we don't know, that he's hoping for Gunther. But if he becomes a comedy act, I think that, again, that aura of what made Gunther dominant is going to go away. And then the fans are just not going to buy him anymore. And then you put him up against, again, will he retire AJ Styles? Will he retire Lesnar? Will the fans even care? Like, oh, it's Gunther. And then we're not going to buy into him. I want to buy into the fact that Gunther will go into a match and dominate and not necessarily destroy his opponent, but he'll be that force to be reckoned with. But it's like you said in the beginning, this is the time we're heading towards Royal Rumble season, WrestleMania season. It's kind of floating in the air of like what direction we're going to go to. But honestly, I hope they fix this with Hunter quickly, because again, I don't want to like quote unquote lose my stock in him. I don't want to lose my faith in him. But the more they do this confusing storyline with him or this character angle with him, the more I think I'll lose interest. And I don't want to, because I really do dig the heel character of Gunther.
Absolutely. And maybe nobody digs Gunther over the last year or two more than Virtue, and we'll get to him in just a moment. But you're absolutely right. Like, will he retire these guys? He could have had this aura still. He's kind of coming out, again, letting nothing against AJ, love AJ Styles, but Gunther shouldn't be letting anybody walk out of a ring that just slapped them in the face. Like, I mean, let alone go back and complain, and the way they did the segment and stuff like that. Like, when you hear Gunther's music, you want to fear for anybody in his path. Even within the last year or two, they've had him go 10 plus minutes with guys from Fraxium. Like, Gunther shouldn't be used to show off the other talent on the roster. Jeff, what do you think? Is WWE mishandling Gunther's stock coming out of the Cena tap out? You're muted.
My bad. Yeah, a little bit. I will say though that I think what happened on Monday, or last night rather, is not so much a out of the norm thing. We've seen guys, I think it was The Undertaker, tap in the referee's blind spot to get the opponent to release the hold. I think it was Lesnar. And then Undertaker ended up winning the match with a low blow against Brock Lesnar. So we've seen these dominant, beasts of athletes, get outsmarted. And yeah, it's a shitty way. It's a cheating way. It's a underhanded way to win. But he won. And sometimes the W's a W. And I think up until last night, it seemed like they were mishandling this moment. But I think now we've got a path. Like, okay, yeah, John tapped out because he knew that was his out. And it's like, okay, I'm not going to get out of this again. It's not going to happen. So I'm at peace with this. The other guys on the roster aren't at peace with just, they're Shawn Michaels. They lay down for absolutely nobody. They're not going to lay down for this guy and just let him mow over everybody. And Gunther had to find a different way to defeat AJ, and he did it last night. So I don't know if it's necessarily a complete mismanagement. I think that we all need to practice that famous line from Guns N' Roses and just have a little patience and just see what happens between now and Royal Rumble, between now and WrestleMania with Gunther.
And I appreciate that for sure. That's why we kind of gave it a few weeks to see what they're going to do with it. We got all this hype again coming out of it. Like, oh, they're going to be like, because people were complaining about the finish. And then, but the people who were okay with the finish were defending, well, this is how they're going to use Gunther moving forward. And again, maybe nobody more than our next panelist here, Virtue, our ORM. Virtue, what do you think? If Gunther's one of his biggest defenders over the past couple of years, like, you hold him in very high regard. How do you feel about how they're handling his push right now?
Well, so how many main roster losses does he have? 3? Like Sami Zayn at WrestleMania, right?
Yep.
Jey Uso at WrestleMania, which they made him tap out. Jey Uso is not a submission wrestler, so that was stupid.
Mm-hmm.
The CM Punk loss was fine because before CM Punk beat him, Gunther got hurt over by the table. Like, that's how you have to beat Gunther. Protect him.
Mm-hmm.
Have something like that happen, and if he loses the match, he gets pinned. He should not be tapping out to Jey Uso. And look, I guess I'm okay with him losing to Sami Zayn back at WrestleMania. But Sami Zayn lost to Johnny Knoxville at WrestleMania. So why are you beating Gunther with him? And I know you're supposed to have his, give him his moment. He's earned it, all the stuff he did with the bloodline. But I sure hope that whatever they're doing with Gunther now, this WrestleMania, he's going over, right? At some point, you have to have your guys you're going to push not always job at WrestleMania. I mean, I know Triple H jobbed a lot at Mania. I know Shawn Michaels jobbed a lot at Mania because it's about the performance. But somebody like Gunther, who has only lost a couple of times on the main roster, like 3, you push and you push hard. And when you do beat him, be careful. If you're going to have him tap out, have it be a super credible submission wrestler. I don't mind the whole AJ Styles thing if they played it off like, hey, the ref's not looking, let me tap to break the hold, and then he still gets the win. Like, that's fine. That doesn't bother me. Like, you can do heel strategy. But the 3 losses, 2 of them, this still don't sit well with me, and they happen to be at WrestleMania. And they needed Triple H needs to do better, and he's got an opportunity coming up at this WrestleMania. So I don't, it doesn't have to be a title match for Gunther. If it's Brock Lesnar, just beat him, right? Brock can kick his ass. They can kick each other's ass back and forth. Just have the victory go to Gunther for his first main. I don't know. It's his first Mania victory if he wins this year, right?
Correct.
1 and 2. Yeah, dude. If they had him lose to Lesnar and go 0-3 Mania, he clearly isn't. He has heat. Isn't heat? Has heat with somebody.
Yeah,
He did
and
win 39.
you're right. He did. I just thought about that triple threat. You're right. He did win.
Yeah,
Defend the
he
Intercontinental
retained the
Championship.
Intercontinental title,
Lost
and he
to
also
Cody to
lost to
Sammy.
Cody in the champion versus champion match as well, which I think at the time we discussed that maybe that neither of those guys should have been
that's
losing.
right.
So why?
The throwaway
Yeah.
match, it doesn't count.
Neither of
And
them
the
should have
only
been in that
time he
match, period.
lost-
Yeah.
The only time he lost is literally on premium live events. He has not lost on broadcast like television, like any televised like matches, for example. I think he's like what 41-0 now at this point with the win.
So he has
AJ?
4. So how many main roster losses does he have? 4?
I believe
Yes.
it's 4.
Okay, yeah, it's probably I don't know, whatever. The tap out to Jey Uso was really because you had to have known fans were gonna go. You tapped out, like to a guy like Gunther, like you just that's somebody like the Miz. You would have the Miz do that. You do that to the Miz, not Gunther.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And again, I think we're going to have to see how the crowd treats him. I do expect them to be chanting at louder than ever now. You tapped out. I don't recall them doing that to the Undertaker when he did that to beat Brock Lesnar. The Undertaker has also been on the main roster for dang near 2 decades by that point. It felt like so. I mean, Gunther's still, it just feels like they should. Protecting's maybe not the right word, but they should be doing everything in their power to make him look as strong as possible and give the crowd. They should just be booing him. They shouldn't be chanting "you tapped out" or anything like that. Yes, Virtue?
And I have a problem with just remembering back to that Saudi Arabia match with Cody. Was that for the ring?
It was.
Yeah.
Cody didn't need that. You could have had somebody cost Cody.
Yeah.
Gunther should have won that, like plain and simple. Like it's up and down with Gunther. Although he's had the long streaks and way more wins than losses, it's like when they do book him to lose, it's just like what? And then of course the laughing about just kind of making it comical instead of being super serious. So they need to do something. And Triple H is, to me, with Gunther, is on the hot seat between now and WrestleMania.
Completely agree.
Just book him against Lesnar and have him beat Lesnar.
I mean, if he goes the Royal Rumble again, because let's also keep in mind, he's the Iron Man now of the Royal Rumble. Doesn't matter if he loses again. He's been that way now 2 years in a row. In my opinion, much like Virtue, this year it's make a break for the Ring General, and they really need to push him forward at Saudi Rumble, if not WrestleMania.
And before I throw it to Aaron, we'll just discuss the Ring General thing. Like, he is somebody who wrestles with a purpose, right? When he was going to tap Cena out, he was constant elbows to the neck, constant moves to the neck. And then we actually got a lot of that with AJ Styles really working the leg, right? Like, people are tapping people out and they're not like working the body part enough, like you would say, like in a WWE 2K game. Like, you can't just tap them out, just what submission or whatever. But I'm going to throw it over to Aaron. Aaron, we heard your thoughts a little bit last night, but after hearing our panelists talk, has that changed your mind at all? Do you like what they're doing? Do you feel like they could be improving? Are they fumbling the bag with Gunther?
I don't think so. I don't think they're fumbling Gunther. I think that there have been a few mistakes made, but that's bound to happen after 3 or 4 years of Gunther being on the main roster. I think, as Virtue pointed out, the biggest mistake was Jey Uso tapping out Gunther. And not that it was a bad idea for Jey Uso to win. I think it was worth giving him that shot when he was red hot. But the tap out and the "you tapped out" chants, I think that bit WWE in the ass. I still think Gunther has credibility as a top guy, and I do agree with Virtue that he needs to win big at WrestleMania. After defeating John Cena and ending John Cena's career, they called Gunther the career killer on Monday Night Raw, so he needs to continue that, retire more people, but most importantly, he needs a significant win at WrestleMania. And I think that the angle on Raw was fine. It was Gunther taking advantage of a situation, and some are complaining about that because his character was very dominant for years, and now he's acting more like your typical heel that has to cheat to win. I would like to see him go back to more of that dominant style that he had, but at the same time, you got to change things up after a while. You can't just do the same thing forever. Characters do need to evolve and change a little bit, but Gunther, coming off of the Cena win, I definitely think needs a significant victory at WrestleMania, whether it's against Brock Lesnar or whoever else they come up with for WrestleMania. We'll see what they do. Now, we have some super chats here. Psycho Jet Black is, in fact, here. Virtue is contractually obligated till 8 o'clock. PJB sent in $5. He says, I'm starting to feel that Triple H doesn't want another Lesnar type where a guy gets pushed to the moon but leaves in a couple years because of the burnout. I don't necessarily think that that's the case. I mean, I think they've really backed Gunther as their guy for him being the one to retire John Cena. I do think Gunther will pick up some more significant victories. Right now, it's just a period where they're waiting until the build to WrestleMania gets going, and Gunther's coming out there 1 week, he's laughing. And I agree with you, Gino, that the slap kind of made Gunther look like a bitch a little bit, but it could also be just psychological games on his side of things and his perspective. He's playing mind games with people. Maybe he let AJ slap him and have a little sense of security and confidence, thinking that he can beat Gunther, and then Gunther takes him out after there's a false sense of security or confidence. I think in the end, AJ should lose decisively to Gunther, whether it's next week or 2 weeks or the Royal Rumble. But yeah, when it's all said and done, Gunther should pick up a very dominant victory over AJ Styles. Jeff?
You have to remember one thing also. Gunther in 2026 is not Brock Lesnar in 2004. Brock, was signed fresh out of college, winning the heavyweight championship in college, went right on to WWE Developmental, right into main roster, and just never stopped. Gunther's been wrestling how many years now? He's used to the grind. He's used to the schedule. His schedule is way less than when he debuted in WWE, period, let alone in the main roster. That burnout's not going to happen to that degree with Gunther in this year compared to Brock Lesnar 22 years ago.
Gino.
Yeah, I agree with that too. Brock Lesnar also had other ambitions. He wanted to go play in the NFL. He wanted to fight people for real in the UFC. Gunther is a pro wrestler through and through, and I don't see I think he loves this, frankly, more than Brock Lesnar ever did. Yep. So thank you so much for the good question in the super chat there, PJB. We appreciate you.
Well worth that $5.
All right, Dave Scheffler sent in $5. Shout out to Dave. Dave says the story for Gunther has been underwhelming. Seems like they didn't have a plan after John Cena's heel turn. Like Uthman said, he's not as dominant. Again, I feel like they do have a plan. It's just they have time to kill, and they're moving at a snail's pace here to get to WrestleMania. I would be shocked if it's not Gunther versus Brock Lesnar. That seems to be the logical match, but Brock Lesnar only shows up every once in a while. Brock Lesnar's not showing up around Christmas time. So they had 3, 4, 5 weeks of time to kill with Gunther, and that's why it feels a little underwhelming right now. But once Brock is back, and if that is the direction they're going, once Brock is back, I think things will start to pick up with Gunther. But where is Brock? Like, they haven't even teased anything for the Royal Rumble. I mean, you want to talk about underwhelming. I think the whole build for the Royal Rumble so far has been very underwhelming.
Well, Aaron, also
no Roman, Steph's injured.
And Saturday Night Main Event existing kind of hampers your ability to build towards that event anyway. So
and also there was no PLE in December like there has been in previous years. We've been basically kind of treading water since Survivor Series. And then think about this, after Rumble, it's even longer to Mania because Mania is mid-April again. So there's going to be a long process between end of Survivor Series and the week of Mania. It's a much longer period than it has been. So the fans that are already impatient, it's only going to get worse.
You almost make people miss Fastlane and TLC.
Right? Exactly. Maybe
there's a big break from the Chamber to Mania. There's nothing in March. Maybe they throw
February 28th.
Correct.
Yeah.
So and then the entire month of March, there's nothing on the books.
So I don't know if maybe they throw a last minute Saturday Night's Main Event in there. That seems to be their like, hey, we need something to do. All right, Saturday Night's Main Event.
Yeah.
Buffer.
All right. Thank you for the super chat. Got any more?
Yeah. Psycho Jet Black sent in $5. And he says, if Big G was here, he would complain about fans complaining about Gunther's booking. Also, YouTube having ads during a live stream is utter BS.
It wouldn't be if you had premium YouTube.
I agree about the ads.
Use part of that.
Wait, what does he mean ads? He got an ad from watching this show?
You
Yeah.
get an ad
Wow.
break in the middle of the live. Yeah.
You
Yeah,
do.
if you
It's-
don't
it's
have the
BS.
premium YouTube set up, it does
Right-
ad break you.
right
whether
now,
you're
there's
watching
an-
I
live or
thought
not.
ads were contingent to a lot of views, though.
I'm watching it.
Ah,
I'm watching this on my phone, and right now there's an ad right now.
Yeah,
that's wild. Now, as far as the first part of the question, we all love Big G, but if he was here right now, what he would complain about is his Steelers losing last night.
that's
Oh,
valid.
jeez.
Valid. Oh man.
Yeah, spin
He's always got
hard,
Jeff Jarrett.
spin hard on the go, but the
Oh, by the way,
hands on the clock.
congratulations to Double J Jeff Jarrett being announced for the
Yes.
2026 Professional Wrestling Mufez Hall of Fame. Good for him.
Yes, good for Jarrett.
Yes. Say
yeah.
Big G's name and that graphic, that picture appears.
Well, I'm
Shout out
gonna
to
know
Big G.
about
He's the man.
the Steelers and everything else tomorrow on the Greg Cherry Show. I'll be there and have to listen to it. So there you go.
I'm glad I don't watch football.
Coach Mike coming to the Giants. I don't
We'll
think
see. All right, we got one more, and then we got a main
Losing
event.
the audience. We're losing the audience.
Actually, it might be gaining because there are a
Hey.
lot of sports fans out there.
Right.
All right.
This is an
Sometimes it's
ESPN.
more interesting than the wrestling talk.
Where Tomlin ends up is
Well-
not our problem, thank God.
I think this is one of those things that Virtue talks about when it comes to the Outlook Professional Wrestling. Isn't that right, Virtue?
Yeah, we need
Anyway.
casual fans.
All right, Aaron, one more super chat, and we'll go to the main event.
I got to learn to put Noah in the center square. Actually, I could just do that right now. There you go.
Say, well, yeah, what do you, yeah,
Now Noah
you do
can
that for?
point or look in any direction he needs to.
that's right. Talk to all of us.
Remember, it's
All right.
opposite.
Psycho
Bad
Jeff
day,
Black
tough
sent in $2. Thank you, Psycho. He says, thoughts on Seth Rollins potentially missing WrestleMania 42.
God,
I
I hope
think it sucks for him, but it does open up some opportunities for other guys. And I think that it's a good and bad thing. I think the injury in a way is a blessing in disguise for him just because it gives him some time away. And when he comes back, he'll be a fresh face and people will be anticipating his return and everything. So I don't think it's the worst thing as a fan, but for him personally, obviously it sucks to miss out on it, but he's had a lot of great moments. So it is what it is. It's just the cost of doing business. Gino?
Mhm. Well, we already knew that because of the promo thing that they've done with the poker table, Seth wasn't invited to that poker game, even though the women's game had a lot more of their top stars there. But we've seen Seth, speaking of football, he was at the Bears game. He's not wearing a sling or anything for his shoulder. He's clearly in the PT phase of his recovery, so he may miss it, or he may be able to make it back. We'll have to see.
About to say, casino has an open door. Don't think someone won't try and put themselves to that table and go all in.
I think he's enjoying the fact that the Bears are still winning, Gino, to be fair. So
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, he
we
was
got-
seen jumping one of the Bear games, so clearly he's 90% healthy, I'd say.
well, the last interview he did, besides being at the Bears game, he was still wearing the sling. So we'll see.
Yeah, well, he was on. I was it Fox? I think.
Yeah, he was on the pregame for NFL.
Pregame,
and he
yeah,
wasn't wearing
no
it, so,
sling.
yeah.
He
Oh,
was
no
wearing.
sling. Okay. Well, I
Yeah.
missed that.
And he was like moving his arm stuff too.
Well, he was flailing. Some players came up, or he was doing something with his arms, and I was like, "Oh, he looks healthy."
Yeah.
Well, Mania's, like I said, Mania's mid-April. We still got a long way to go. So
Long way to go.
hopefully,
And even
All right.
and even if he doesn't come back for Mania, they got 2 nights of SummerSlam they got to sell. So maybe whatever plans they have for him, just wait till SummerSlam to fill
Yeah.
up Minnesota.
Come out with a sling and then take it off, and then I'm actually healthy.
CM Punk
Yeah,
versus
Aaron,
Seth
you mentioned-
Rollins.
Aaron, you
All
mentioned
right, one more
Gunther
super
and,
chat.
Gunter and Lesnar for Mania. I thought that would be for SummerSlam.
It could be both. It could
rematch.
lead to a
Although
SummerSlam match
that
with
would-
that. I think
Not just one match, yeah.
that could be a scenario where Brock wins though at WrestleMania, and then they do the rematch at SummerSlam.
See that the tap out angle because he does the Kimura, that would have made more sense. Because much to Jeff's historical point, when Undertaker did that, what they do, they ran the match back, and Brock got the win.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they might do AJ and Gunther the Mania, and then he'll retire Lesnar in Minneapolis.
Yeah, could
That's
be.
how, that's how I would do it, but I'm not a booker.
Yeah, retire AJ at Mania, and then retire Lesnar at SummerSlam. But okay, one more super chat, and then we go to the main event, which we're all itching to talk about.
All right. So City by the Bay sent in $2. Says, which company will have the bigger year, JCW or TNA? Well, Virtue, I want to say this. I think if JCW can bring in some more names that aren't under contract to WWE or AEW, I think they could generate some more buzz. And I saw a name floating around Twitter. What about Ryback? What if they got Ryback from JCW?
Like I said, Russo, like, this is where I wish Bray was still alive and was out of his WWE contract, because he would have been the guy, and I think he would have worked with Russo. They would have made a little buzz there. I don't know how big it would have got if it would have just stuck. That would have been the magic. I don't know what they can do, but yeah, if a couple other wrestlers that they pull in end up in WWE or AEW, that would be very interesting, because people can start saying, just go to JCW and you'll end up getting a new contract in one of the big two.
Listen, they need a real star. With all due respect to the guys in JCW, they all look very indie wrestler. Like they need a Matt Cardona stuck out like a sore thumb. Like he's out there, he's this tall, muscular guy. Like they need somebody like that. They need like an actual star who can come out there and be the
Cross. Well, I don't Cross isn't necessarily a star, but
what's his name? Too Tough Tony.
Yeah, I know. It's
like he looks like a fan. Like they need an actual superstar on their roster. That's what they're missing.
Yeah, and I believe you can watch JCW on YouTube. Is that correct, Virtue?
Yeah, it's on the Juggalos page.
Yeah, but you can't really find TNA even if you have Hulu Live TV. So you're kind of, we'll have to see. I mean, they got their thing,
props
but
to
we'll have
Big
to
Vito. He actually wrestled a match, and he did pretty good. He was getting some good heat. He was working, the thug style match, but he's like 61 now. So props to him.
One more thing too. They might want to try to tape more frequently. Like, what are they doing? Taping 3 months in advance?
Yeah, it's budget stuff though, But yeah, that hurts too when they do it that way. But it is what it is.
A good living, right? Like they should up their budget a little bit. Well, maybe they can if they get their YouTube numbers.
Well,
up.
RVD's loving it. RVD loves it, so maybe he'll make an appearance.
That would help.
Yeah, I mean, that would be something. Like if they could get a couple people here and there just to build up their audience, like somebody tunes in and they don't know who's going to show up. The problem is when they tape 3 months in advance, that can hurt things a little bit. So it's going to be tough. Like in TNA, if they can do live weekly shows, I think that might help them. But I'm hearing that they might not be live every single week. And if that's the case, it might be hard for them to generate some buzz long term. But I'm rooting for them. Apparently, you can get. I'm not sure, but I think you can get TNA with AMC's Plus app, right? And that's not as much as getting YouTube TV. Like I definitely would not subscribe to YouTube TV just for TNA. But if I could get it for like $7, maybe I would try it out. I don't know if I would commit to it on a regular basis. Noah, do you think it's worth paying money to get it if you don't have access to it?
I mean, if you're looking for a budget-friendly option, the AMC Plus app, then yes. And if you're a movie fan or like a Bonanza fan, Wild West fan, then yes. As far as me, I think Sling has AMC, so I think I'm covered there. But for me, when I look at TNA, the little engine you thought that was going to not make it to the station and is still chugging along, this has got to be do or die for them. Not only are they on a mainstream level channel now with much more exposure and recognition, but this is their kickoff on a network that's truly about movies and storytelling, not a single iota about sports or sports entertainment. So I'm hoping that TNA basically, to put it in baseball terms, hits a grand slam. So I'm just going to take it with bated breath. But for me, I use Sling. AMC Plus app, though, would make sense, at least initially.
All right. Thank you for that.
I love that Noah mentioned Bonanza. Awesome.
I used to be a Wild West guy.
Tito said these YouTube ads are causing the review to freeze. Well, I've never had YouTube ads freeze my live stream or video that I was watching. So that might be something on your end. I mean, Tito, with all due respect, every time you've been on the review, I feel like you have a lot of technical issues. So you might have to invest in like a computer that was made after 2010. Just saying.
I know it's never frozen on my end. Yeah. So I don't know.
Yeah, but I'm sure you make good money with your job. Get a computer that was made after 2010, and I think you'll be able to access the streams without any issues.
Okay, we do have one more chat, but that might be for the end after the main topic, if that's all right, Aaron.
Well, it's real quick because it is tied into JCW. Imagine Too Tough Tony winning the WWE title. Well, WWE would just be done if that happened.
Yeah, he's not like The indie gimmicks that I do like the two zombie guys, and then they got like a freak show circus carnival announcer guy that comes out. It's, to me, that's very creative because they actually can wrestle, but they can do the body movements like a zombie walking. That takes a lot of talent. Those guys are entertaining. I think they're called the Infected or something like that, but very entertaining.
Oh, well, I do not recall that, but I'll take your word for it, Tito.
All right. And with that down, guys, thank you.
That's what they're called. The Outbreak. Sorry.
The Outbreak. That's a good name for a zombie team. I like that. It is creative. So thank you so much for all the super chats, guys. Remember to send them in. We've got one more topic here for you. And this has been something that has been on the forefront of everybody's minds for the last couple of months, nay, I say years. We're definitely discussing this all the time in the NoDQ chat. Will he, won't he? What is WWE doing with Drew McIntyre? He helped them during the pandemic, damn near carried them during the pandemic, and they keep setting him up to lose and lose and lose. Oh, he's wrestling Cody again. And a lot of us didn't think that he was going to win this 3 stages of hell match, which wouldn't make sense because he selected the stages just like MJF. He selected to be in the match. Like, you shouldn't be losing. It makes your character look dumb. And lo and behold, Drew McIntyre is your new WWE champion, not on prime time in the United States, but on tape delay, unless you have Netflix, a VPN, however you want to look at it. And I couldn't be happier for the guy. I think that it was said last week or a week before on the review that Cody kind of needs the championship to exist. Like, what does he do without it? But for Drew McIntyre, he's been putting in so much good work in and outside the ring, on the internet. Like, he has just been doing top-notch work for a long time now, and the fans are ready to embrace him, especially overseas. Maybe that's why they waited, because they knew that he would get a better reception for winning from the overseas fans who used to be called, or at least they'd called Canada. It's like weird over here. They root for the bad guys, whatever. But Drew McIntyre is just, and it was a crazy, crazy match too. I loved watching it. Nothing but good things to say. I'm going to throw it around the panel here, and we're going to see what you guys think. So obviously, Drew's the champion. I'm Jeff. I'm going to throw it over to you first. Is Drew going to hold this championship as a transitional champion? Is he going to lose it to maybe Sami Zayn at the Royal Rumble in Saudi Arabia? Is he going to hold it till Mania, even though he's not in the promos of that? Well, what does the future hold, and are you happy for Drew McIntyre? Muted.
I know it. I'm ecstatic for Drew McIntyre. I remember seeing this guy debut on SmackDown back in 2009 and going, man, he's got everything but a championship, and he was Intercontinental champion right away. But then we all watched the path of Drew McIntyre. We talk about, as you said, all the time in the chats. I am so ecstatic for Drew McIntyre to be the WWE champion. And yes, it wasn't, live to everybody, although it was officially live around the world. Not everybody got to see it at the same time because of a lot of different reasons. But as far as how long he reigns, I would love to see him get to WrestleMania and defend the championship at WrestleMania. Whether he wins or loses, I think is immaterial at this point, because he'll have had basically a 3.5 month reign, big show to the show. I think a lot of it depends on Rollins, and I know it sounds like I'm kind of copping out or whatever, but I think if Rollins is healthy, you go with Rollins and Punk.
Is that what Tito was talking about?
Payoff between the two of them. Was he? I don't have the comments from me, so I don't know, but I guess so. The other thing that we've all been talking about off and on in the chat is this the moment that Cody turns heel? Like, because he's been showing more aggression. He's been more apt to doing things that aren't very babyface like in this run with Drew. So is this what pushes him over the edge? I mean, so many things can happen. Right now, I'm enjoying the fact that Drew McIntyre is WWE champion. I'm happy. We've got a year where Frankie Kazarian's a world champion, MJF's a world champion again, CM Punk's a long reigning in this era world champion, and Drew McIntyre is a world champion. I'm happy.
All right. And yeah, I think it was reference to your video freezing. I think that's where the joke and the Tito reference was to you, just for a little moment there, Jeff.
Okay.
Yes, Aaron.
I just wanted to say we should rename the Virtue Award to the Tito Award moving forward here. And by the way, Tito sent in $2, which I thank you for, Tito. He says, the economy must suck enough to cause more YouTube ads. Well, Tito, I don't think it's your internet. I think it's your device. Your computer is outdated. The hardware is old, and that can cause problems. I'm saying if you have a current device plus top-of-the-line internet, you should be fine. But if one is bad, it could cause problems. You got to have both working well and up to date. Jeff?
I'm using a brand new laptop with updated internet, updated Wi-Fi, Aaron. So sorry, it's bullshit.
Well, we'll blame
fine.
YouTube
It was
for your
just
problem.
probably like a little internet glitch for like 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Well, you're in the mountains too.
I am not in the mountains. Shut up.
You're in
Okay.
Santa Clarita. Look at
Speaking of something to be actually frustrated about, Jeff.
compared to
speaking of
Michigan,
something-
they're mountains.
What's that?
Okay, speaking of something to actually be
Compared to
frustrated
Michigan,
about,
that's-
Jeff, I was avoiding the spoilers all day, and I accidentally opened Instagram, and your post is what spoiled Drew McIntyre winning for me. So that's a reason to be mad for sure. I had all the chats muted. Everything was done except Jeff Meacham had to celebrate his boy. No, that's my fault. When live TV and when TV spoilers happen, it's your responsibility to avoid the spoilers, not other people's responsibility to avoid talking about it. I'm going to throw it over to Noah now. Noah, Drew McIntyre is the champion. Hopefully the future bodes well for him. But at this point, he's getting his flowers. And Jeff is definitely frozen again. But Noah, what do you think? Are you happy for Drew? What does the future hold?
Well, I must admit, this does, like I said, make me wonder who's going to bust at that casino table and take the seat instead and place their bets. It definitely makes WrestleMania a little bit more interesting to me because I didn't think Drew McIntyre was even going to be at WrestleMania at this point. Now he's the WWE champion, so he's got to be the man that hopefully achieves broken dreams and makes them come true in a WrestleMania main event. I think it definitely lends to the fact that Cody, who has emotions overrunning him, should go heel. Dye the black hair, go full rogue, truly become the American nightmare of WWE. Show us how bad you want to be the quarterback once again. Don't give him the Royal Rumble, though, if he's going to be the same captain, Homelander, Mr. TKO guy that we've seen since he's come back since WrestleMania 38. For me, though, with the fact that we got this tournament also on SmackDown with the legs of Ilya Dragunov, how about we push some fresh blood and actually see if we get some fresh new faces, younger talent pushed up to a better regimen on the roster. You already got Trick Williams from NXT champion. El Campeon Damian Priest, okay, there might be a chance that he and Drew McIntyre might run it back. Drew McIntyre, for me, gives me a chance to believe that WWE might actually give us a reset. So I'm extremely happy for it. At this point, though, I just don't want to see Cody involved in the WWE Championship picture anytime soon. I really want to see Jacob Fatu. I think they pulled the trigger on the Jacob Fatu thing a little too soon. But we'll see what the SmackDown segment that I will watch, because I actually care about that, actually brings to us. So I'm happy. But again, you gave me this little bit of an idea that you're going to do something different, something I expected. Don't F it up.
That's a good point. Obviously him obtaining the title is the story, but where he goes from here, he's already at it again. He posted the picture of himself, and when CM Punk was on, he's like, I don't need a shirt. This is what a real champion looks like. Like, yes, Drew, kids will say slay. Like, dude, get it. Like, he is killing it, and I love it, and I'm so happy for Drew, and I want more of that, and maybe we could even see him start to cross paths with some of those. There's just a lot of baby faces that haven't had the opportunity to fight for the title because it's been Cody so frequently. So you do have the opportunity for fresh matches and fresh faces, like you said, Noah. Oofman, I'm going to throw it over to you now. Are you happy for Drew? Do you think, man, they weakened him so much through all the complaining and all the buildup that it didn't mean much? Or are you as excited about it as I am?
Well, I was like what we were saying in the chat. I was coming to a point where it's like, all right, Drew's in another title match. For the love of Pete, can he win this one? Because, again, he was falling under the category kind of like LA Knight, where he's getting this push. He's getting a title match here and there, and then bloop, they just dropped him. So I wonder who LA Knight pissed off backstage. So had Drew lost that match against Cody, I'd be wondering who did Drew piss off, because the guy deserved it. Back in 2020, that Royal Rumble win he got, that place exploded when he kicked Lesnar out of the ring, and when he won, I believe it was Minute Maid Park that just cheered on the Casa de los Oofs. We were cheering him on as well. He's a favorite around here too. And when I found out that he won the title, I was extremely happy. But then wondering, all right, he won the title here early January. What does that mean for the Rumble? What does that mean for WrestleMania? I hope he has a lengthy run. Will he make it to Mania? Again, my Peter Tingle's telling me I don't think he's gonna. Unfortunately, he's not gonna make it. Maybe because it's WrestleMania. Again, like we've been talking in the chat, how influential is TKO in what direction they want to see WWE in, what names they want to see in the main events, how many tickets have been sold for both nights for Mania, because you want the best card there is, obviously, to sell the house. So does somebody in TKO not see Drew as a draw? Is somebody influencing Hunter and being like, all right, you put the title on Drew, but by March or April, it's got to be on insert this name so this person can win it. I truly do hope, again, even though if I was a betting man, which I'm not, I would say that he won't, but I really do hope he walks into WrestleMania as the champion. And I would like to see Drew defend and actually walk out of WrestleMania with the title. Just give us something new. Like we're saying, yes, push new guys and all that, but now give Drew a run in front of people. He won the title in a warehouse, poor guy. And for the most part in the pandemic era, Drew was champion and there were the screens there, sure, but put him now in front of the crowd. Yes, the foreign crowds are bizarre world, as everybody likes to call it, Canada and Europe and all that. Now when they're basically out of America this entire month, even into the Rumble. So when they come back to America, I think the crowds will accept Drew as their champion. Now, like you said, when it was Cody and Drew, would Drew have gotten that cheer, that big pop when he won? I believe he would have, because I think the American fans would have been so behind him when he finally pinned Cody and won, I think, or actually walked out of the cage. I think the place would have exploded too. So I hope WWE and mostly TKO listen to the cheers in Europe right now. But when they come back to America, I still think he'll be hot as his act, and someone would be like, all right, let's push Drew to the moon as WWE champion.
Thank you very much. There were some people in our chat talking about like, oh yeah, has he pissed somebody off backstage, but he's been getting main event title matches. So some people argue, well, it's not a way you punish somebody, but we'll have to see what everybody else thinks. Virtue, I'm going to throw it over to you. Drew McIntyre, a true champion's champion. He's got the look. He's got the mic skills. He does what he needs to do. What are your thoughts? Are you happy about him? Is he going to hold it long term?
About time. Cody doesn't always have to have the title. The best part about Drew winning this now is it forces Dave Meltzer to say plans have changed, or we don't know what WrestleMania is going to be. He starts sounding like Porky Pig in his reports. And that to me is, I don't care even if Drew's just a transitional champion, drops it to somebody else because he won't be in one of the two main events. I just love that it just makes uncertainty to the people that always know and think they have WrestleMania figured out, especially the main events. So and Cody doesn't always need Dave LaGreca. Cody doesn't always need the title. So I'm also glad that he probably has to sit there and talk about Cody not being the champion right now. So that's what makes it good for me. So about time for Drew McIntyre.
It is about time. And speaking of time, we'll throw it over now to Aaron. Aaron, we got your thoughts on the amazing recap that you do after every show, but I still want to hear, did any of this change your mind? Are you still excited? What do you see for him? Is he transitional? Does it matter as long as he's got this win?
I'm very intrigued, and that's the most important thing to me as a viewer, is that I don't know what's going to happen next. As Virtue said, they're keeping people guessing, and now there's reports that WrestleMania is being changed, and I'm all for that. If WrestleMania is too predictable, it's not as exciting. It's more fun when there are several roads that they can go, and we don't know what the direction is. Are they making it up as they go along? Perhaps, but hey, as long as it's entertaining, that's all that matters to me. I like the swerves. I like a curveball every now and then. And I agree with everything that was said pretty much. I think Cody, his run got stale, and I think that this was the right move 100% to change things up, get Jacob Fatu right back in the mix, and now there's different possibilities for the Royal Rumble and WrestleMania 42, who's going to be in the main event matches. It could go any number of directions at this point, and I'm a big fan of that. I think that's what makes it the most exciting when we really don't know. The only time I would say go the predictable route is when you have a clear-cut match that needs to be the WrestleMania main event. But at this point, I think there's a lot of different possibilities. I mean, I really would like to see Gunther versus Brock Lesnar, but it could be Gunther versus AJ Styles. As long as they come up with some interesting matches for WrestleMania that make sense, then whatever they do is fine by me. There's no one match that I'm like, this has to be the WrestleMania match. And that includes Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes. Although I tend to agree with Virtue that if Roman Reigns is going to be at WrestleMania, he needs to be in the main event. So they got to figure out how to.
Night 2.
Yeah, night 2.
So
I wonder if it's going to be CM Punk. I wonder if
One
they're
more
going to
time.
Roman Reigns versus CM
Rubber.
Punk. And honestly, I'd rather see that than Cody versus Roman Reigns 3, even though, it would be the rubber match. I still think Roman Reigns versus CM Punk would be a great night 2 main event. But could it be CM Punk versus Braun Breaker? Are they going to do a triple threat with Drew McIntyre, Cody Rhodes, and Jacob Fatu? I mean, there's a lot they can do, and I'm excited to see what happens. As long as they can give us an entertaining show, that's the most important thing. And how they get there doesn't really matter that much. It's just, what is the final product? If the final product can deliver, then I'll be happy. And then maybe we're in for something else. Maybe Obafemi is going to have the rocket strapped to him and be in one of those WrestleMania main events. It could be any number of possibilities for WrestleMania. But let's get to these super chats. I know we got about 8 minutes before Virtue has to go, so let's get to it. Jeremy Dorset sent in $5. Thank you very much. Says, both Drew McIntyre and Kofi Kingston feuded for the IC title in 2010, and then they both became the WWE champion in 2019 and 2020 before the TKO and Triple H era. And the big difference, though, is Drew McIntyre didn't lose to Brock Lesnar in 9 seconds or whatever it was. Jeff, we were there for that one. That was a fun time, huh?
Kofi Mania extinguished.
Yeah. In less than 10 seconds. What a freaking blaze of glory.
Jeff, you're muted.
I was there at WrestleMania 35. I mean, we popped when he won the title, so it was
Y'all
a
did.
good moment.
I didn't.
I did, and so did 80 whatever thousand of us did at MetLife. So.
I don't think everybody did.
But again, it's the moment. If WWE wants the moment,
I guarantee
Kofi
you,
Mania.
20,000 people didn't want Kofi to win that match.
I'll put it this way.
Yeah.
I had to rack my brain to remember when he won the title, not when he lost it.
The
I was there,
Iconics winning the tag team championships was a bigger moment than me because that was unexpected. And
Yes.
I was happy for Kofi, but the Planet's Champion gimmick was so good. Like, I really regret like we didn't get more of that and the replica belts and all that stuff. But yeah.
All right. Dave Scheffler sent in $2. Thank you, Dave. Dave says Drew has some of the best feuds over the last few years. I agree. CM Punk was a tremendous feud. I was enjoying the Cody feud too, despite the fact that I was tired of Cody as champion. But all in all, Drew has been one of the best parts of WWE television over the last several years. And like the guys said, long overdue for him to finally get this win. And I think it was the right call 100%.
It's crazy thinking he came back in NXT and we thought, okay, cool. He'll get a nice little run now that he's back. And here we are 9 years later.
All right. Well, I think Virtue will agree with this comment. Psycho Jet Black sent in $2 and says, Too Tough Tony has more credibility than Dave Meltzer.
We found his gimmick.
I mean, Too Tough Tony he looks like a bouncer for the type of concerts that ICP would be performing at. That's what he looks like. That's his gimmick.
Clown Posse.
And he gives alcohol to the ringside fans.
Yeah.
Hey.
21 and over.
Yeah, as long as they're 21 and over, yeah, why not?
It's legal.
Well,
I'll
Where
take
are
a beer.
the,
whole event.
where are the young juggalos? Are they not allowed at JCW?
I don't know
No.
how any of that works. Dude. I'm not a juggalo.
Dave is a beastly sent in a $2 super chat. Thank you, Dave. Says everyone's favorite Rumble match or pay-per-view. Well, mine is 92 with Ric Flair. So I don't know what you guys think. I also like Cactus Jack and Triple H from 2000. The street fight is one of my favorites.
I think that show overall is my favorite, but the match itself, it's either 92 or 99, just because we can see you during that match. I think that's funnier than hell.
Vince McMahon knocked over my popcorn when him and Austin were
Did.
in the crowd.
So-
01, 07, because I think Shawn Michaels finished that one.
01
And
was
then,
good.
honestly, last year outside the winner and what it led to, last year's Royal Rumble actually had a darn good build.
I said it
For me,
earlier,
it's-
2020. I mean, it was Lesnar and Sheldon hugging. That was hilarious. I was laughing my ass off when he came up seeing Brock bop into his music. But then again, that moment,
represent.
Drew kicking him over, that place just exploded. So,
Well, 2020
and
also
of
Edge's
course,
return,
90,
no?
92. And Edge of Return, yeah.
Yeah, 2020 had good moments. I don't know if the entire match was good, but definitely some good moments.
Yeah, Gino, best Rumble.
I mean, I don't really have like a best Rumble ready to just off the cuff, but I mean, as far as moment, Cena coming back at 30 when we didn't expect to see him so long, I mean, that's always going to be like, I'll watch that video. If I'm down, I just watch that entrance and I just watch that 30
It was
count.
the Garden. It was the Garden as
amazing.
well, the Mecca Sports
MSG.
Entertainment, and of course,
I'll just say the Rumble 2024 for now.
There you go.
How do you represent the shirt?
All right, Psycho Jet Black sent in $2. We got 4 minutes before Virtue has to say bye-bye. Psycho Jet Black says, Aaron, please invite Too Tough Tony to the No DQ review. Well, if I was going to have anybody from JCW, we'd love to have Vito back on the No DQ review.
Once he turns into a zombie, which I don't know if that's where they're going to go, because it looked like they made him like he got bit by one of them and he has a patch on his neck.
Oh,
So
geez.
if he turns
That
into
would
a
be
zombie, I
great.
want Zombie Vito on the review.
Yeah.
I would dig that. Zombie
Yes.
Vito on the No DQ.
I don't know. Again, I don't know. We'll have to see what happens first.
All right, Psycho Jet Black sent in a $2 super chat. Thank you, Psycho. Says, if Vince McMahon was in charge, it would be Drew McIntyre versus Jinder Mahal at WrestleMania. Yeah, Gino.
I'm just going to say I am a Maharaja fan, so that would actually work for me, especially since they're both 3MB, son. So
What
that
about
works for me.
what about Jinder Mahal and JCW?
He'd
Could
be the biggest guy there.
Yeah.
That's valid
He'd
as
be really
shit.
tall.
But
Yeah.
He would tower over everybody.
Like I've
I
only
think-
watched a little bit of JCW, but are there any guys that come out there and do like the anti-juggalo gimmick, like say I'm beneath or you're all beneath me?
Vito was doing that.
Yeah.
They love drinking Fago Pop at those events. I don't know why that's just a thing. The
That's
last
Michigan.
25, and then Vito's like, no Fago for you. Instead, you're gonna drink my new drink called Dago Juice. Dude, just hilarious.
Take
I
it.
might have to
Yeah,
start
they
watching.
could, but they could do. It doesn't have to just be him. Like they could
That's
have somebody else come out
That
and be
is
anti-juggalo.
We need a storyline where somebody comes in and says, I'm just collecting the paycheck from Violent J and I'm just gonna have my way with everybody here and do like an invasion storyline and try to take down JCW, and the Juggalos have to take back their company from the invader.
Well, I mean, I'm not a rocket scientist, but I think eventually you got to think Russo's plan would be for Violent J to win back power and the company, right? But how you kind of like throw some swerves though along the way. That's what I think will happen. But as long as the stuff that gets to that point is interesting. I mean, remember Deadly Game, right? That was like Russo's pinnacle moment in the Attitude Era.
Yeah.
The Deadly Game tournament with The Rock. So
All right, Psycho Jet Black sent in a $2 super chat. He says, imagine Too Tough Tony versus Jinder Mahal.
Yeah,
Yeah,
less than a
Jinder
minute.
Mahal beats his
for
ass.
Virtue to leave. And this is what we're doing. This is what we're doing.
Yeah, we got
Okay.
Psycho Jet Black.
Maharaja.
I might actually watch JCW more if I knew Jinder Mahal was going to be on. I'm not joking either.
Dude, Virtue's selling me on it
The
pretty hard
last
right
show
now. They should
had-
cut him a check.
last show at Anderson and James Storman, the main event, anything goes. It was just as good as you would have seen one on WWE, all over the place and on a dance floor and beating each other up with garbage cans. And
Yeah,
pretty good.
Sounds like typical James Storm. Long necks and rednecks, you know.
All right, Jeremy Dorset sent in $5. Thank you, Jeremy. Heel Shawn Michaels versus babyface Edge. Who would win?
I think we
Edge.
have put our minds back in '98 because Edge was a babyface in '98
Yeah.
and Shawn was still the heel. So if we're imagining
commissioner,
those
right?
two versions, I think Edge gets the upset win and shocks everybody.
I say heel Shawn because if heel Shawn won, he would stay heel Shawn and brag about it. And heel Shawn is awesome. I was very sad that 2005 run against Hogan was so short. Like I wanted more heel Shawn Michaels. And
Shawn didn't want to do heel Shawn in 05. That was all Terry dictated, brother.
Yeah, but if Shawn Michaels would agree to do more heel stuff if he beat Edge, then I would say heel Shawn should win.
Okay,
we get more heel Shawn. I would.
What time is it? It's close.
It's
all right.
It says 8 o'clock on my phone.
Oh, almost.
And
time.
here's where he goes.
Last one.
Imagine Too Tough Tony versus Jeff Meacham on a dance floor.
Where did the dance floor part of that come from? Like, why?
Well,
Because
because it's the last
You mentioned
JCW
it.
show.
Somebody mentioned
They
it.
did it at this place in Detroit, and
Yeah.
there was a dance floor on the second level.
Oh,
It
okay.
lit up, and they were brawling on that for a little bit.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, it's
Well-
like a dance floor with neon lights that built into it.
Destruction
Well,
at the disco.
Me in a wrestling environment or on a dance floor, either way, I'm getting my ass kicked. So, yeah, I'm good.
All right. Thank you so much for that, everybody. Thank you for the super chats. Let's go around and do our plugs. Thank you, panelists. Ufan, where can the people find you?
Everybody can find me here on YouTube at my channel, Oofman Entertainment, with my series, Gavin with Oof. I had Mr. Gino on for a couple last videos, so check those out. Gino's very opinionated, and we like to think a lot about movies and about wrestling, and one of the latest ones we spoke about was the fandom, and I'm going to make more top lists as well. I also reviewed Natty's book. Highly recommend it, whether paperback and or audio. Bret Hart's book is now in audio. I downloaded it. It is 20 hours long. Yes, 20 hours of the Hitman talking to you, reading his book. While he read his book on audio, I was reading it in the paperback. So
He read
check it
his
out
own
there.
book for Audible. That had to be AI at his voice.
Nope, that was him.
Wow.
20
That's
hours.
a long book to sit down and read.
It
especially-
is.
Wow.
Yes, it is. Natty's
I always
was like
commend when they do read their own books, but I would figure he wouldn't have been able to pull that off at this stage.
Natty was like 4 hours ish or so, but Brett's was 20. So yeah,
That's bonkers.
Wow.
very.
Well,
And
okay,
it's him.
if you say it like that
Crazy.
Natty's was 4 and Brett's 20, that does line up. Okay.
Well, if you look at the books, Natty's versus Brett's is like this and Natty's is like that. But
And
Brett,
Brett's
he took his
also
time reading
very
it.
small, so it's
Yeah.
yeah.
So
it's great.
Brett took his time. He sounded good. I mean,
Yeah.
besides everything he's been through. So yeah, go to audible.com and it's in there.
Yeah, I think PJB is finally out of the money from his hard work, though, doing whatever he does. Jeff, where can the people find you?
Well, you can find me tomorrow on the Greg Cherry Show, talking about all things probably Steelers football since they lost, and I'm gonna have to hear about it. I encourage everybody to watch the Silver Rival Studios coverage of TNA on Thursday. They're debuting on AMC. I'll be reviewing The Godfather this Friday, the 16th, and then at the end of the month, Greg Cherry and I will be covering the Royal Rumble and holding his annual Royal Raffle. So check out all things Greg Cherry brand and good old JM now that I'm back. Yay. Woo.
Yay. All right, Noah, where can the people find you?
For once, I gotta friggin' put myself in fast forward mode. Gino, it's always a pleasure. People want to find me if you choose, and Foster9016 on the X and on YouTube. As Jeff alluded to, we're not only covering the TNA MC Prepare, we're covering a WWE Martial Carnage tomorrow. Super Ditting will be also Thursday after TNA, and we're covering TNA Genesis also this weekend.
Oh, yeah.
So again, a lot of fun stuff coming up. So be along for the Rabbit City Lava Studios and with for I am nothing more but a simple man. And by the way, this lapel pin is brought to you by the virtuoso Diana Perazzo, as I am also not only a lifelong fan of her and the techniques of the squared circle, but also just in general professional wrestling. Damn it!
There it is.
Reminding
There it
you,
is.
There's no winners, there's no betters, just fans will appearance with patch we all share. At the end of the day, folks, support Manera, respect each other, protect your mentality too. Treasure your families, just your life, and professional wrestling. It's really as simple as that. I'll see y'all next time.
Thanks, Noah. I know we got one more super chat, Virtue, but where can the people find you?
X.com at NoDQ_virtue, merch at NoDQ.com/merch.
If you dare.
Yeah. And here's the differences between the books. Here's Brett and Natty's, and just look at that.
Good grief.
Red stick. All right. Aaron, we're going to get to that last super chat.
Yes. So Jeremy Dorsett sent in $5. Thank you, Jeremy. He says, if Vince McMahon was back in charge, he would rehire Heath Slater and we would get a 3MB triple threat match in the main event of WrestleMania.
And the next night they would legally
the man's got kids. He's got
no, they
kids.
would just get they would be reunited and they'd be that faction again. I don't think Mania.
Well, no, they'd be reunited and then they would lose to Baron Corbin in a 3-on-1 handicap match and retire.
There you go.
Aaron, you know why? Because Brock Lesnar doesn't give a shit about Heath's kids. That's why.
That's right. Is Heath still an Impact, by the way?
I don't know. I don't think so.
No, is Heath Slater still in TNA?
No.
Where is he?
I have no idea.
Raising them kids.
He could show
Raising
up.
them kids.
Gotta raise them kids, yeah.
Last time I saw him on screen, he was with Rhino before Rhino turned him and gored him and joined Violent by Design. I haven't seen Slater I don't know how long.
So Rhino doesn't care about his kids either. Got it.
You know, Heath Slater's got to take care of his kids, so maybe he goes to JCW and works for Vito and does all Vito's dirty work because he's got to feed his family. See, I could write this.
Okay, so not only is PJB a liar, but now he's trying to shut the show down with that super chat.
Don't say that name.
Okay.
Don't say that
No,
name.
there it is.
Don't say it.
Oh,
Don't
boy.
say it.
Don't say it.
Do not say his name because if he appears, we'll never get out of here.
No.
Imagine Too Tough Tony versus
that guy.
That's right.
Evil.
That person.
Evil,
with the
All
name.
right.
Wait, I'm going to
Thank
say
you so
it.
much.
Too Tough Tony versus
Country Redacted.
You still have that.
There you go.
I love it.
That's how we do.
All right. Aaron, where can the people find you next?
here on the NoDQ review.
Tomorrow
right
night.
here. We're saying yes to
Tomorrow night,
NoDQ.
AEW.
And you guys,
.com/VPN. Get a VPN so you can watch SmackDown this Friday and see Drew McIntyre's big celebration in London as the new
In London.
In London.
Absolutely.
In London.
Sorry.
And as your moderator for this evening, you guys can find me on my channel on YouTube,
Look at that handsome man.
0017. I work with Noah and Uthman a lot and love being on the review. Thank you so much for watching, whether live and on demand, all the super chats and all the panelists from Uthman, Jeff, Noah, ORM, and Aaron. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one. Bye-bye.
Peace.
Buenas noches.
Goodbye. Goodbye.
Buy a shirt.
What's the button?
Buy all the shirts.
Everything.
Buy every one of them.
Buy a
All
book
the
too.
shirts. Why not? Buy one, get one.
I
too.
had to. Why not?
Read a hoot. Give a hoot. Read a book.
Read
Good
a
job,
book.
everybody.
Read a
Peace.
book. Sorry.
Yeah.
Later. Yeah.
Aaron, push the button.
Aaron stream Mario. There you go.
Do, 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 do.
Do-do-do-do-do-do.